Hi, I'm Mark. This is my March review for Pisces Sun sign and Pisces rising. We start the month with Mercury making a couple of aspects. The first is to the black moon. Now, Mercury's still in your 12th house of the unconscious, so this is a time to work with your unconscious mind. What fears have you got, and why have you got those fears? What is holding you back? Have you any blockages in your mind that you can remove now? Then on the 2nd, Mercury makes a positive aspect to the North Node and the South Node, and this is a time when you may get some kind of message or some clue as to what you're going to be doing in the future and which way you should be going. Then on the 3rd, Venus makes an aspect to Uranus. Venus is in your 1st house, so this is a time when you'll be buzzing with excitement. So do something that's different today. Don't let things get too boring or too staid. Keep the energy going, because this month you've got your birthday if you're a March Piscean, and there's 3 planets in your sign most of the month, so there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of intensity, and there's a lot of aspects to Neptune, your ruler, in your 1st house, so there's a lot happening for you, a lot of positive aspects, so this should be a great month. It's a busy day on the 4th. We have Mars moving into Gemini, a fellow mutable sign, so this will be good for you. There'll be a lot of energy in and around the home. It may be that you're working from home, or you're going to do some DIY project at home. There'll be a lot of energy going into the home. Then also on that day, the Sun makes a positive aspect to the black moon Lilith. Now the Sun will shine a light on her shadow and let things be seen more clearly. You'll be able to see then where the holes are in your life, where you need to plug up things, or where you need to make changes. So this is all good, because it'll be valuable insight. And then the other good aspect on that day is Mercury conjunct Jupiter. This is in your 12th house, so you'll be able to tap into the unconscious. Your unconscious mind will be very active, so it might be telling you things or trying to persuade you to go in a certain direction or do a certain thing. Take notes of it, listen to it, because this conjunction with Jupiter can bring forth growth. Jupiter always brings forth opportunity and growth, so go with your intuition, go with your hunches and your gut feels on this. On the 5th, the Sun makes a square aspect to the Moon's nodes. When this happens, it makes a T-square. T-squares can be challenging, but also they can bring a lot of growth. So what do we do? Well, we need to balance the nodes. The North and South nodes are across your 4th and 10th house, so maybe it's time to balance career and home life and make sure that's running smoothly. Now, the Sun can form a bridge between the past and the future. So now we need to look back and see the people we know, situations we've been in, and the talents we have that can now help us in the future. Now, if you can balance these out, it'll be very advantageous. Now, on the 9th, Venus makes exactly the same aspect, so you've got 2 chances to work with the nodes here. And then Venus can help you balance with relationships and also with your desires. Are your desires still in keeping with where you want to be now, or do you need to modify things? This is a tremendous month for you Pisceans, and particularly between the 10th and the 13th. So those of you born around that time will really be buzzing. On the 10th we have the Sun conjunct Neptune. On the 13th we have Venus conjunct Neptune. And also on the 13th we have a new moon in Pisces. So this is a fantastic time. This is a time when you can reinvent yourself. This is a time when you can be artistic and creative. You can have a new look. You can present yourself in a different manner. It's time to be bold and be brave and go for it. Build up your enthusiasm and your excitement around this, because it can cause a great deal of excitement. A lot of changes. Right, the new moon as well, is it's time to get noticed now. It's time to push forward, push yourself forward. I know Pisceans are often quite shy. This is now a time to push yourself forward and go for gold. With all this activity in Pisces around the middle of the month, it's a great time to take a leap of faith. Try something different. It's very good for artistic pursuits, for creative writing, for poetry. It's good for film and photography. It's good for acting and many other activities. It's also good for the spiritual side of things. If you want to study anything on the spiritual side, whether you want to connect with the spiritual side through meditation or yoga, these are all pursuits that you could follow now and will give you great benefit. On the 16th, there's two sextile positive aspects, one from the Sun to Pluto, one from Mars to Chiron. Now the Sun aspect of Pluto means you can transform things in the area of the 11th house where Pluto is sitting. This is a good time now to look at your aims and goals for the future and see where they need changing to fit into your current circumstances. Also friends, relationships with friends do need some work there to sort things out. Make adjustments there as well. Then the other aspect with Mars is you need to look at your self-worth and your boundaries in the second house with Chiron as sitting now. You know, are there any wounds regarding finances that you still have hidden away that can be brought out and healed? On the 20th, the Sun moves into Aries and your second house. So the emphasis over the next month will be on finances. Then, also on that day, Mars makes a positive aspect to Saturn. These two don't always work well together, but this is a time when they will. Saturn's in your 12th house, so this is a time to work behind the scenes on anything, a project or anything that's up and coming. It's also good to clear out under this aspect. You can get rid of things. Ask yourself, why have I got this? What use is it? And then get rid of it if it's no use. Also, not only possessions, but in your mind as well. You can clear your mind and your unconscious of any old habits or worn out modes of belief. Then on the 21st, Mercury makes an aspect to Uranus and you'll be buzzing on that day. Your mind will be very active, and it's a good day to think up new ideas. With Mercury making that positive aspect on the 21st, it can open up new avenues for you in life. And with Venus and the Sun coming together on the 22nd, this is an ideal opportunity to take advantage of any of those. These two together will, especially as they're in your second house of finances, you'll be able to attract money and wealth and possessions to you. Now this lasts for 8 days, so this is a good time to work with this energy. You can also bring new people into your life, new people that will help you and aid you to go forward. Then on the 23rd, there is a difficult aspect. It's Mercury and Mars, and this is always a tetchy one because you can be very irritable and it can be prone to accidents, so just be careful driving or operating machinery. On the 25th, we have two more aspects to the Moon's nodes. These are one from Mars and one from Mercury. Now the Mars one is a conjunction to the North Node. This lasts 3 days. So there's a good time frame now to get in touch with this North Node. Your path will start to open up in front of you. You need to put all your concentration and effort on going forward now. All the willpower you have. You may attract people to you who are Mars-like, who can help you. The only thing you need to be aware of is scattering your energy, because Mars in Gemini tends to scatter energy all over the place. You need to keep it concentrated in one area and push forward on that area that you know is right for you. Then with the Mercury aspect, it's another square aspect, which means another T-square, so it can be challenging, but it also can be very good because it allows you to balance. This time with Mercury you can balance the mind, the unconscious mind with the conscious mind, the logical side with the intuitive side, and get a nice balance there between the two. On the 28th, there's a full moon. This full moon's in Libra. A full moon in Libra is all about gaining balance and harmony in life. This full moon's in your 8th house. The 8th house is to do with power. You could be attracted to powerful and intense people or in situations during this full moon. Your emotions will be running very high. Don't get caught up in taking power for someone else though. Just deal with your own power. This full moon, the Sun is conjunct Chiron and Venus. Now Sun conjunct Chiron brings a magical alchemy effect to this full moon. You can turn an old wound into a gift. This is very clever. And also you can use Venus, because Venus can transform things as well within relationships. And don't forget, this is all happening in your second house, so you can also attract possessions to you. Work on that wound, clear that wound up, and then take advantage of the attracting power. Also, you could meet someone who's a teacher at this time who could help you and point you in the right direction. Or if you're knowledgeable, you may have someone who comes to you and they need your advice. On the 30th, Mercury makes the third conjunction to Neptune that we've had this month. Again, you'll be fired up, your imagination will run wild. With Mercury, it's a great time to do creative writing, or write an article, or write poetry, write music. All these things are fantastic with Mercury and Neptune. The only thing you need to be aware of is illusion. It's not a day to make permanent decisions, because your mind might not be fully concentrating on the mundane logical side of things. It'll be more intuitive and otherworldly, so just be aware of that. Then on the last day of the month, Venus and the Sun make a positive aspect to Saturn. Now, Venus and the Sun in your second house, finances, so it's a good time to do financial planning. It's a good time to seek advice from a financial advisor about your future. And it's a good time to do detailed work. It's a good time to do maths and look at things that maybe on other occasions you find a bit boring or complicated. This will be a good time to work on those type of things now. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's been a good month. If you'd like to leave me a comment, I'll be glad to hear from you. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and happy birthday to all you March born Pisceans.